Hey guys, welcome to my jungle fundamental cheat sheet. So I made this jungle cheat sheet a while back, maybe 6-7 months ago, but a lot of the concepts still apply. I will be making an updated version of this soon, so stay tuned for that. But let's jump into all the fundamentals written here. The link will be in the description below, so take a look at that. First, let's take a look at the table of contents. Also, real quick, shout out to Ryan for all these graphics. He's the one who's doing all the thumbnails as well. Show him some love. Right now, just say thank you, Ryan. Okay. Jungle overview, the jungle thought process, the rules, mentality, and proven mindset. That's where you're going to want to start. Iron to gold, what you need to know to improve, breaking down key concepts, the basics, and how to build your habits. Okay, platinum emerald, understanding, learning advanced concepts like wave manipulation and tempo. Okay, as a jungler, you need to learn how to play wave manipulation and tempo. And also, I should include here fog of war. So fog of war is also very, very useful here. Okay, last thing is in diamond plus, controlling your ego and utilizing your pings, take objectives, and team fighting and positioning. Okay, let's jump into jungle overview. So in the jungle overview, you need to understand all of the champion abilities. Okay, it's really, really basic, but understand all the champion abilities. Learn every item, learn every champion ability. That means passives, that means interactions, that means items, and also you need to have a good idea of keybinds. So I made a video on keybinds as well. I'll link it below. Okay, some rules to always think about. Keep your resources high, dodge abilities, and do not waste your resources. That means, let's say dragons come up in 1 minute. Do not use your flash to get a kill. Do not waste spells. Do not waste your ultimates. Okay? It's really important to understand the difference here. Let me turn off these alerts real quick. Okay? On top of that, it's objectives over kills. So a lot of people think that winning games is you win games by killing people. You don't. Okay? It's really important to think about objectives. Also, guys, I see this way too much. Do not play with your losing teammate. It's ridiculous. Do not help your losing teammate. It does not matter. Let your losing teammate lose, especially as a jungler. Okay? So basically jungle overview. Let's talk about some 5 rules that I apply when I play the jungle. Okay? Number 1, clear from weak side to strong side. So the buff you start, let's say we're going to start top side every game. You clear from there all the way down, and you keep clearing from there to there. So you're going to recall, go weak side to strong side. Play for objectives. Your game plans throughout the game should be how do I click a dragon, herald, turrets, baron. Okay, grubs. Okay, it's not because the objectives are just simply better. They're really good, but sometimes invading or dives will be better. It's just to give you a game plan. It defaults a game plan. Ask yourself, what's the next play? What's the next objective I can take? What's the next turret I can take? How can I accelerate this game? How can I stop this game? Okay, what's next? Always. So you always want to race, and then number 4, you always want to race against the clock for your first camp respawn. I talked about this in all the fundamental videos recently. Make sure to get to your first camp respawn. And lastly, really important, I see this all the time in fights, do not go 1-for-1. Let your laner go 1-for-1. Do not be the one who's willingly dying. You do not want to be the one dying. Okay, so this is pre-game prep. Let's take a look at what we do during the game. So do not be a sheep. The jungle mentality, guys. You are the jungler. You need to be really, really smart. You are the jungler. Okay? Do not listen to your teammates. Mute them. Okay? Do not let anyone make decisions for you. Use your pings and you control the game. You control your mouse and keyboard. No one else in the whole game. If you go follow someone, that's because your brain power, your mental space, your mental energy wasn't good enough. Okay? Stay humble, guys. You can always improve. Win or loss, every game you can learn something. Let's say you're 3 losing lanes. All good. You can learn something. I'm going to post, or maybe it's posted by now, a video where I lost the game, but I learned a lot, and I had 3 losing lanes, and it sucked, but I gained something. There's always something you can improve on. So try and improve. The improvement mindset is so, so crucial. So let's jump right into the improved mindset. So forget about the LP. It's all about the process, guys. Trust the process. If you're staying true to your process, you will gain LP naturally. Number 2, learn not to tilt, guys. It's actually a skill. A lot of people think that, like, oh, I naturally, this person is really, really mentally gifted. Like, he doesn't get as tilted as me. No, they learn. They've learned that. Okay? Mental is over 50% of league. I put that here. Over time, I'm realizing mental is about like 75% of league. Your attitude is so important. And last thing, really important, is you must repeat the same thing over and over again, especially when it works. Even if it's boring, guys. If you want to have fun, go play on an alternate account. I see too many people will say, like, yeah, but one tricking is boring. Okay, you don't care about improving that. You don't care about climbing. That's all good. If you don't want to climb, play different champions. the jungle thought process. So the 4-step thought process is something that I coined myself. Just some basics you can think about. So ask yourself what you're playing for next. What's the next objective? What waves to play on? Okay, so you prompt yourself with a question. Now you collect info. Okay, so look at the waves, look at the HPs, look at the conditions. This guy's ultimate, this guy's flash, this guy doesn't. Okay? Now you need to understand what this info means. Okay, so this guy's wave state is bad. Does that mean I can actually do the objective? Low HPs? I mean, you can't do the objective. Okay, so you need to think about the information you're gathering. And the last thing is you make a plan around the information, around everything, and you stick to this plan. Okay, and you make the play, and you execute on it. So the last thing would be like execute. And you repeat. Let's jump into iron and gold. Alright, in iron and gold, you want to know 50 to 65% of all champion abilities. Okay, that's it. You need to know your own items, runes, and playstyle. And you need to understand what 3 camps give you level 3. Or even 4 camps. Because you can do red, raptors, wolves, and then blue buff. And that gives you level 3 if you want to. Dragon respawns every 5 minutes. Herald respawns in 6 minutes after the first clear. So this is a little outdated, right? Because we don't have any talk about grubs. But just have general ideas about the jungle. You need to know when grubs spawn, how long it takes. Grubs takes 4 minutes to respawn. Okay, discipline yourself, guys. If you're iron to gold, you need to dodge. You need to focus. You need to be emotionally controlled. You need to follow all these rules right here, okay? So dodge if you're off your main role. It's really important. And champion. Focus. If you get bored of one-tricking, go on a smurf. If you're emotional, control whatever you're feeling, you gotta control it. Don't be toxic. I see too many low level players lose their mind by being toxic. See the jungle mentality again. Think about improving. Go back to the start of the video. Think about improving. The improvement is all that matters. Okay? Character control. So this is something that's really important. You need to learn to look at lanes while you're farming so you can collect information. At the same time, you need to always have your cursor close to your character while you're moving around. So if my character is here, I'm not clicking up here or up here or up here or up here. I'm clicking here. So I have control over my character. It's important. Also, a little more advanced stuff is like auto spacing and, just general kiting and whatnot. But that's not an iron to gold. Okay, build good habits as an iron to gold player. Okay, so it is not possible to be aware of everything. So focus on 1 to 3 things. You're an iron to gold player. You guys don't know everything that's happening. It's fine. You're not a challenger player. So first thing is overthink your decisions. So use the jungle thought process to make a plan and play for objectives and potentially waves. Do not overcomplicate it. A bad plan is better than no plan because you can improve. So some people just don't think. They're just like, oh, I don't know why I did that. Think about something. Do something. Okay? Patience and relaxing. The slower and calmer you play, the easier the game will feel. Try not to overstress. A lot of the little players I coach, I see them, they're uncomfortable sitting in a bush. They're not comfortable doing nothing. They have no camps up and they're freaking out. They're like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Should I gank? Should I do something? Chill out, bro. It's not the end of the world. You're fine. Okay. Last thing is wait for opportunities. You gotta be patient. Again, patience is so important. You do not force things. And you need to wait for the enemy to make mistakes because they will make mistakes. Doing less makes more opportunity. Okay? Because if you do so much, you have less opportunity. That's just how it goes. Really important to understand. Doing less is actually doing more. Now let's think about gathering info. So we talk about gathering info in our 4-step process. So before you can gather info correctly, you must not feel overwhelmed and overloaded. Imagine I'm stressed about top mid bot dying. Then you're not going to gather proper info. You need to relax. Okay? When you are looking at information, you need to simplify it into 3, practice these concepts. So you need to pick the thing, use tab, and just check gold. Okay? So picking the thing is an example of, okay, how do I play with this dragon? How close am I to my item? Can I gank bot lane? Is this fight winnable? Can I play this wave? Can I do this herald? So choose one question and answer all the information that leads up to this question. So it's like, okay, the question is, how close am I to my item? I check my shop. Okay? The question is, can I gank bot lane? I look at waves. I look at HPs. Okay? The question is this fight winnable? I look at position. I look at etc. Okay? Happens for every single situation. Okay? So choose one idea and gather info on that one idea and the one question. Okay? So when you use your tab, every time the enemy shows, you can need to hold tab, check his items, check his CS. Thinking about the enemy's items and other lanes is really important as well. Okay, do this every single time you need information. Check your gold. Whenever you have 1,000, more than 1,000 gold, look to recall in the back of your head. You're like, okay, shit, I have 1,000 more gold. I should probably look to recall. Clear speed. Okay, so this is actually very, 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 very I would say like generic stuff. So this is a normal clear speed. In fact, you should probably be clearing around 325. I honestly, from here to here, I was a bit too reasonable with you guys. 325, 320. Ideal clear is actually 320. I put that in the fast section. But like, ultimately, this is just like, okay, don't clear slow. Clear quickly. So to clear camps quicker, you want to auto twice and then move. Auto twice and then move. Auto twice and then move. What's going to happen is every 2 autos, though, the enemy camp will get 1 auto. Okay? Right before you last hit a camp, you want to move close to the next camp. So let's say the camp circle is here, and the next camp is down here. I see a lot of you guys finish the camp right here. You need to kill the camp at the edge of the circle. So you're finishing the camp right here. And you're bringing it out, and then you can finish it towards your next camp over here. Okay, so every champion has special interactions. You need to understand the details to your champion. For example, stand under your Nocturne Q. You get bonus AD. I see a lot of Nocturne, low Nocturne players. They don't know that. It's crazy. Okay, on Diana, you need to hold your abilities so you can cycle your passive. I see some people QWE right away when they're clearing. In the early game, it's not okay to do that. You need to optimize your clear. Okay, so learn 2 champions to make this really, 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 really possible. Learn 2 champions only. Now let's jump into Platinum and Emerald. The expectations of a Platinum and Emerald player. This is really important to understand because a lot of you guys are jumping into Platinum Emerald ideas and Diamond ideas, but you're just not good enough because you don't know all the stuff from the Iron to Gold page. Okay? You need to know all of that stuff. Okay, learning how to discipline yourself, learning how to control your character, learning how to kite quickly. Bro, I've seen some Emerald and Platinum players. They have the most fucked up clears I've ever seen. Guys, focus on the basics. Learn the basics and you can systematically get better. Alright, what we're going to learn here is wave states, learning waves, pathing, generic pathing in early game, ganking and interaction with lanes, playing off tempo, items, and recalling. Okay, so slow push. It's better if I visualize this for you guys, but I can't right now. I'm going to make a video on waves soon. This is really, really important. I'm actually just going to let you guys read this instead because honestly, explaining verbally a slow push, fast push, crashing, or freezing is not really worth it to me. I want to have a whole video on this. If you guys are really curious about waves, I'm sure someone else out there has a video right now. I always say this, someone else out there probably has a video. I'm going to just say, hey, if you're Platinum Emerald, you should have a good understanding of waves. Alright, so early game pathing. Now, this is something that has been contradicting with how I've recently coached. Again, I made this around 6 months ago, 7 months ago. So the content here is different than the content I coach now. Okay, the way I coach now is path bot every game. Just path bot. That's it. Path bot. Simple as that. If you guys want to get into a more advanced pathing, all of this stuff should be moved to Masters Plus. Okay, you have a lot of options here. You can invade, you can dive, you can do all this shit. So I'm actually not even worrying about this. Don't worry about this. Okay, the main idea here is ganking is not the focus. It's a fucking myth, guys. You do not want to perma gank. It doesn't mean anything. Okay? What do I mean by this? Okay, so as long as you work with waves and you work for objectives and you work with laners prio, you can actually win games if you play for objectives, guys. You do not need to simply gank all the time. Okay, the waves are the focus. Collect information based on waves, and pretty much okay. So waves help you decide if you can do objectives. Work on waves to do that. Okay. Should you ever gank? Yes, you normally, like, when you are ganking though, is when you're playing with the strong lane. So again, we talk about weak side to strong side. You gank when you're working around your strong side laner. Otherwise, you do not gank. Okay? If you're not working with your strong side laner, you're not ganking. So when do you gank? Oh shit. Oh shit. What the fuck? My fault. Okay. So when do you gank? You gank when you have these conditions. The wave is set up. Great. The target is low. Great. Both set up for an easy gank. So let's say you have someone with nice CC, great. So if the gank fails, you should always get something. A flash, you should freeze the wave after, you should chunk their HP down after. It's really important to understand that your gank should always provide something. You're never wasting your time. Okay? Really important to understand. The next thing here to think about is playing with tempo. So this is a general understanding of how tempo works. I do want to make more videos on tempo because it's the most important concept here. So it's based off the position on the map relative to objectives and waves, and the champion's strengths versus its counterpart, HPs, items, and levels. So the way tempo sort of works is whoever has tempo is stronger than their counterpart in the game, allowing them to be able to make a winning play, and afterwards the tempo is transferred to the counterpart, allowing them to make a winning play. So it's a game of chess. If you're stronger, you make a play, great. Now you're going to be lower in HP, lower in resources, they're going to make a play. Okay, it's back and forth sequencing. You make a play, they make a play. You make a play, they make a play. So the way you can check tempo correctly is by looking at positions, waves, and objectives, and who is stronger. So let's say you're very strong. You have first item, second item. The enemy has first item. Okay, but you're in base, and they're on the map already doing an objective or making a gank. That means they have better tempo than you. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, even though you have better items, they have better tempo than you. Okay, so what should you be getting with tempo? You have the opportunity to take objectives, and if you can't do objectives, you should maintain your tempo by taking camps and creating map pressure on the other side of the map. So let's say they do the objective, then you should go and do the other side of the map. So again, tempo is a sort of complex thing, and I can't just explain it in a few points, but this is a general idea of what it's like. Okay, next thing we have is item spikes. So whenever you or the enemy hit an item spike, you're instantly put in a tempo advantageous tempo state. So you're in a fight, you're in a position to win a fight regardless. Let's say you have 3 items versus 2 items, and you're late to the map, but because of your item spike, you can still come and destroy the person with 2 items. So item spikes sort of signal who's stronger on the map. It's important to play for your items, guys. I think it's the biggest thing in bottom emerald you can do is play for your items. Okay, the last thing is information about jungling. Okay, so when the enemy shows up, hold tab, check their items and CS. Check items and CS. Okay, and start comparing them for the last time they showed. Let's say 24 CS, they show up later, they have 32 CS, they clear 2 camps. Okay, use timing on the map. So you should predict what they're going to be doing when they recall, how long it takes. You should predict, okay, they cleared bot lane to top lane. Eventually, they're going to recall and clear bot lane to top lane again. So I need to think about the timing. Let's say he goes bot to top and then overstays top lane, then he recalls. Now I know his bot camps are up, okay, for a while. So you sort of just have to think constantly about timing around the map, okay? Next thing is you have to think about the enemy laners. Look at the enemy's laners' positioning and their posture. So match that to a wave that allows you to access even more information about the enemy jungler's position. So imagine the enemy is like, okay, imagine this. Enemy bot lane, 30% HP. They're crashing a wave, and my bot lane, 50% HP. Why would the 30% HP bot lane be so willing to fight against my 50% HP bot lane? Likely because they have their jungler backing them. So you can think about the positioning of laners to help dictate where the enemy jungler is. Sometimes you won't know where the enemy jungler is. That's fine. I've had plenty of games where like, oh, really? You actually did that? It's all about adapting. It's all about adapting and understanding what type of player they are. Are they aggressive? Are they not aggressive? You sort of can adapt to these situations. All right. Last thing we're going to look at is Diamond. And the reason why I say last is actually Masters has nothing. Okay. Masters, again, is sort of just a combination of doing things better from Iron all the way to Diamond. So if you're waiting for Masters, just review everything. Review Diamond. Make sure you're doing everything to the best of the best. So expectations. What you absolutely need to know is you need to know everything from the Iron to Emerald page. So all of this shit, you need to perfect it. What we'll learn here is ego, how to drop your ego, invading, pinging, securing objectives, and saving resources and conditions. So don't ego, guys. Stick to the basics. Bro, fundamentals literally carried me back to Challenger, to Pro Play, multiple counts, very, very high win rate. Constantly, it's carrying the students I'm coaching from fucking like Emerald to Masters, Diamond to Masters. I've seen crazy shit, like just crazy shit, okay? Fundamentals win you games. Next thing is don't play for kills, play for objectives. Again, this is such an important concept. People think that as I get higher elo, like I can ego more, I can play for more kills, I can play for more camps. Play for those objectives, guys. And it's not matter how good you are. The basics will literally carry you, like I said, all the way up to the challenger level. You will learn some new things along the way to challenger to be better. To actually make it from masters, to jump from masters to challenger. But for the most part, guys, a lot of this shit just works in every single elo. It's the basics. Once you get the basics down, you can start working on things that are harder. Invades. So once you get your first item, play to invade. Otherwise, only invade with the master split. So even 6 months ago, I've been drilling this concept into students and myself. Don't invade until you get your first item. It's just harder. Don't make your life harder. So invading should always be your last resort. You should focus on tempo, camps, or objectives. So again, tempo, recalling. You can also just like replace this word as recalling. Okay, just think about tempo as recalling. Okay, tempo, camps, or objectives. And then most importantly, you want to impact your lanes instead of taking enemy camps. Impacting lanes is such big value. Okay, whenever you make a winning play, the tempo is transferred, so make the play count. Let's say you make the play on invade enemy camps. That's it. That's your play. You're done. Okay, so you need to make sure you understand how tempo works. And what happens when you get invaded? Well, guess what? If they invade you, they'll be down tempo. Map presence and most of the camps will be back up. So let's say they invade your top side. Go invade their bot side. Go dive their bot lane. Go do your bot camps. Do other things on the map. Relax, bro. It's okay to get invaded. Using your pings. Now, I've tried teaching some lower elo as well. I think pinging is a universal thing. But you need to communicate where the enemy jungler is. You need to tell them, come to the objective with me. And before the whole ping existed, the whole ping was great. But now it's gone. So unfortunately, there's no use of hold ping. The two pings I want you guys to use are the on the way ping and the assistance ping. Those are the two most important pings. On the way and assistance. You do not want to use your question mark ping ever. Do not use question mark ping, guys, please. Okay, so layers are busy farming and trading. They don't have time to look at the map. Ping for them. Even if they know. Spam ping can lead to chaos, but if you make sure you use there's a good reason behind the pinging, they will likely listen. So what I mean by that is like, okay, spam ping is annoying, but if you're pinging crazy, hey, dragon, likely they'll come help you. Okay, we have how to take objectives and expensive plays, last two things. So how to take an objective and avoid coin flips. So always be 30 seconds in the river before the objective spawns, ideally 1 minute. And the reason why is if they try to contest your objective take, if you're in a bush or in the river, you can chunk them and win the objective afterwards. It's important to understand that the reason why is not so we're just beating our cock in the fucking river. You're not just doing nothing in the river. You're not just fucking inting. You're waiting there for the enemy to come to you and then you chunk them. That's the reason why you do that. Okay, so even numbers. If it's a 4v4 or 5v5 and you do not have setup and the game is even, it is better to trade into the enemy side. Go top lane. Don't give the dragon. If you do have setup and if it's even numbers, then you wait for the enemy to walk into your setup. Don't chase them. Wait for them to walk into your setup. Then chunk them and start a fight and don't flip the objective. Okay, never flip the objective. A big thing, a big side note here, guys, is do not flip objectives. The enemy should be flipping objectives when I'm moving this. Do not smite fight. Let's say it's 4v5. You have 5 members, they have 4. And you're doing the objective, and you're bringing it below like 2000 HP. If they can smite fight you, you fucked up. In a 5v4 where you have 5 numbers versus 4, go fight them. Win the fight, then come back and do the objective. Winning the fight doesn't mean you kill people. Winning the fight means you bring their HP lower than like 20%, 30%. That's effectively killing them. So it's really important to understand that you do not fucking flip objectives ever. If you have the numbers advantage, again, 5v4, look for a fight. Look to fight before you have a smite battle. Exactly. So actually, that is just what numbers advantage means. Okay? The last thing here, guys, is when you are using your ult flash and all your tempo for one kill, it's probably not worth it. If you use all these for an objective, then it is very worth it. I see so many fucking diamond players, even masters players, even fucking challenger players, bro. They just run around the map for one fucking single kill. Now, if this kill is worth 1,000 gold, hell yeah, that's probably a little more worth it. But bro, I see like the dumbass support running away from them and they get upset. They go use their ultimate or use flash. Bro, I see the craziest stupid shit. Save your resources for the main objective. Okay? Again, for the objectives, save your ultimate and flashes, let's say, or ghost. save it. Okay, don't use your ult 1 minute before the objective is spawning. Dear God, there's so many times, bro. The objective is like a minute 30. You have a 2-minute ulti cooldown, and then just use it for fun. Please save it until you can do the objective. Okay, so some people might cope and say, hey man, it's a fucking kill though. So a kill, 300 gold, maybe a shutdown. Okay, if it's a shutdown, maybe a little more. Often they'll just respawn, that's it, the game goes on. So objective is guaranteed value no matter what. There's scaling, there's like minimum 1500 stats worth of gold. Objectives always scale. Herald gives you like, okay, this is like wrong. I'd say Herald gives you around like 700 gold at the minimum, plus 2 camps worth of EXP. 700 gold from Herald. It's so much more gold, actually. It's crazy. And that's not how you spell Herald. That's Herald. So Herald gives you that much gold. But anyway, again, in Masters Plus, work on all the stuff from before. If you are really curious about how to get from Masters to Challenger, I'm actually just gonna give an honest shout out. I think Kirei is great. Kirei's been very, very high rank, always Challenger. I got coaching from him way back in the day. I think Kirei's a great person to help you get from Masters to Challenger. I'm targeting the lower elos. I'm not saying I can't help you get from Masters to Challenger, but I don't think Masters to Challenger can be simplified into like a guide like this. I need to make like 10 different videos about mid-game macro, team fighting, how to actually use your pings better. So many things. Jungle tracking, pathing, invading, ganking. There's so many more advanced things you do in Masters Plus. So if you're really interested in your Masters Plus player, send me a message. Maybe you can film some content. Maybe you can get some coaching. Maybe you can join the Patreon as well. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this little explanation about my entire jungle guide. It's completely free. Take a look at it. It's in the description box below. And I hope you guys, hope to see you guys like join the Patreon or get some coaching. And of course, join the Discord. Real quick before I hop off here, guys. I am doing a quick event in my Discord where I will review one of your guys' games. So what I need you guys to do is provide a jungle clip. And what I'm going to do is I need you guys to give me your thoughts, why you did it, what you think your teammates should have done, what's your main points. Provide the 2 to 4 minute clip, and then I will decide if you're right or wrong, and I'll give you the bigger picture. Okay, so it's sort of just like a judge jungle situation. Okay, let's say you think your top laner is just completely stupid for not doing the objective with you. I'll explain why you are right or wrong. Okay, so if you have a debate with your duo, I got you. I'll dismiss that debate for you guys. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace, peace.